So scientists use an unconventional, non-linear inductor with energy level spacings that are not alike.
So what we need each of those energy splittings to have unique frequency. That's what the nonlinearity does for us. So the 0 to 1, there's a 0 to 1 frequency, there's a 1 to 2 frequency, a 2 to 3 frequency, and so on. You need to be able to individually address those energy levels. The way you individually address them is by having unique frequencies for every transition. And the way you have different frequencies every transition is to have a little nonlinear element.
This nonlinear part of a qubit is incredibly small. In fact, it's invisible to the naked eye.
So those two parallel dark lines make a planar capacitor. A capacitor is a device that will allow you to store electric energy. And then there's a gap in them where it looks like they're not connected, but in reality they are. They're connected by a very, very thin trace of metal.
This bridge is an inductor, but it's a very unique one. To understand why, you need higher magnification. You need the power of a scanning electron microscope. Zooming into the qubit reveals a strange stack of overlapping metal. This is called a Josephson junction.
The Josephson junctions are the magic that make our qubits work.
It is a layer of superconducting metal. It's just like a little layer cake, a layer of oxide that does not conduct electricity at all, and then another, if I had a third hand, a superconducting layer on top of that.
The way we make Josephson junctions is a bit complicated. We have to take an aluminum layer, a very well-ordered aluminum layer, then we oxidize it. Oxidizing is kind of a messy process. It's essentially allowing it to rust. So we take an aluminum layer, we allow it to rust, and then we put another aluminum layer on top.
And that seems pretty uninteresting because you can't have any current go through an insulating gap by definition. But if you make it thin enough, you get another one of these quantum mechanical effects where there's no such thing as the electron concentration just stopping hard. If they overlap enough, then you can get what's called tunneling, where they will just quantum mechanically, quantum leap, whatever you will, that's a term, jump from one side to the other.
This quantum tunneling is what gives the qubit its nonlinear energy levels.
That, in essence, means that when you change their amplitude, their frequency changes. The equation for them is actually identical to the equation of a pendulum. I have a pendulum right here, and we can perform an experiment. If I go and I start oscillating this pendulum very slightly, you'll notice that it's going back and forth pretty quickly. If I go and increase the rate of oscillation, the amplitude of oscillation, it takes longer to do a full loop. So the fact that I can change the amplitude and that changes the frequency is what makes our quantum computer controllable.
Meaning that if I want to switch one quantum bit from 0 to 1, I have a microwave pulse that corresponds to that. If I want to put 2 quantum bits into a superposition, I have another set of wave pulses that do that action. It is that set of pulses that do something that I know that we call a logical gate.
So why are quantum computers still experimental?
Well, on paper, quantum computing is solved.
The theory, which is a mathematical description, and the hardware, which is a piece of metal in this case, don't line up to every single level. And so anything where the theory doesn't match the physical system is something we call noise.
We have noise from everything around us. If you look at room temperature, we have infrared cameras that allow you to see in the dark. That, for us, is noise. Infrared will cause a whole bunch of noise on our qubits. That's why we cool them down to very low temperatures to try and isolate them from the room temperature noise.
Noise not only introduces errors into quantum computers, it can unintentionally change a qubit's delicate quantum state, a process called decoherence. So to separate them from their environment, scientists run their experiments in giant refrigerators. that are more complicated than you'd imagine.
So if we're going to send a signal into our fridge here, it all starts on the room temperature rack. Right, they come up overhead and come in through the top of the fridge, through this very top plate, which is always at room temperature. On the outside is the regular lab space. On the inside, when all the shields are on, will be under vacuum. Vacuum is important because if there's any air in the fridge, that would transmit heat from room temperature to the colder stages inside. We pump out all the air, and then each stage gets a little bit colder all the way down to the bottom. So there's 37 lines coming in the input here. Our signal will follow one of them, little coaxial lines, and they'll have a wiggle to them. That's for two reasons. One is the fridge will expand and contract a little bit as it changes temperature, and we don't want to put any strain on these. So that just can take a little flex and it doesn't damage the cables if they change in length slightly. The other is we're paranoid about any stray light getting in, some infrared light or something like that. The light won't bend around corners and send any photons we don't want into the fridge. This stage is at about 30 Kelvin. That is not a temperature that comes up in everyday life. The nitrogen in the air that you're breathing will turn to liquid at 77 Kelvin. Oxygen a little above that. Air is ice. The next stage is 3 Kelvin. At this stage, even helium, the last gas of anything, becomes liquid. Helium never becomes solid, fun fact. At this point, gases don't exist at this temperature, at 3 Kelvin. Now you're a solid or a liquid, there's no other choices. We go to even skinnier cables as we get down. Skinnier, just less metal will conduct less heat. We want to make sure that we don't conduct any heat from stage to stage. These are a metal that's a very low thermal conductivity, a copper nickel alloy, I think. And then we get colder to about 1 Kelvin. This is the still. This stage we actually add heat to. For all the hard work we do to try to get cold, this is the stage that we actually heat to get it to just the right temperature. Next stage, 100 millikelvin stage. Each one gets a curlicue down to the mixing chamber, which is at about 10 millikelvin, which is 30,000 times colder than room temperature on an absolute scale. And everything at this plate and down is at 10 millikelvin. So we have a lot of room to mount our little devices, and we have, I don't know, maybe 20 independent experiments on this at a time. You can see all manner of different filters and things here. Just to throw out any frequencies you don't want, let's just follow this one, for example. It comes in, you see it goes through this little collar, and inside this collar would be inside a shield. That is a magnetic shield. It's different than a Faraday cage. That's something where you can just block electric fields. It's actually not possible to block magnetic fields. You can only redirect them. And so it's actually a kind of metal that kind of sucks all the magnetic field lines into it so that there's a lower magnetic field inside and outside the can. In the walls of the can, the magnetic field will actually be enhanced. You just kind of redirect all those lines into the walls of the can, and then the space inside will be a very low magnetic field. So we might take something just to mount it just so, put some screws on there onto the paddle, and then I can open up inside. I'll just take the lid off. And this is a typical device. It has 6 coaxial connectors. You have a little chip with some quantum devices in the center. These 6 ports might, for example, be, in this case, the top and the bottom ones are the input and output for the RF. So our output lines, once we have some signal from our qubits, we'll typically go through a quantum limited amplifier and then go through these isolators. These are double junction, single junction isolators, basically one-way valves, cryogenic one-way valves, so that your signal to the hotter stages can get out, but any thermal noise from the upper stages can't get down to the lower stage. And then if we follow that signal chain out up to the 3 Kelvin stage, and this is where we have the first conventional amplifiers. We're usually trying to measure kind of single photon events. At room temperature, even in the microwave range, there's a lot of thermal radiation around. So we got to boost that signal up to a level to where something conventional room temperature electronics back at the racks like this can detect it and distinguish it from just thermal background. Amplification is the name of the game. Not just amplification, but very low noise amplification. Every kind of amplifier adds its own noise. That's both just an engineering truth, and we're at the level where we get the physics truth. You can actually quantify how little noise nature allows an amplifier to add, and we get as close to that limit as we can. And then it goes all the way to room temperature, and we have more amplifiers sitting on just nice conventional amplifiers at the top until we finally make it back to our equipment rack. Okay, this is a VNA, one of our workhorse instruments among many around here. VNA stands for Vector Network Analyzer. Vector in the sense that if you've ever used a vector in math, you know it's something that has both an amplitude and a direction. In our case, we think of our microwave signals as vectors. They have an amplitude, and as it's going around in its cycle, repeating again, that's like 360 degrees in a circle. And we want to know exactly what the direction, the phase of the signal is. That's what makes it a vector analyzer. What makes it a network analyzer is it has more than one port. So this one has 4. We're just going to be using 2 in a little demonstration here. We're hooked up to ports labeled 3 and 4 right now. I can grab this guy. This is where we're going. This is one of our 3D cavities that we will mount on the fridge, and we're just doing a little room temperature test on it. We're hoping that it has a frequency of around, I think, 6.7 gigahertz, and we're just going to measure that before we cool down and make sure that's what we want. We know where to measure when it gets cold. This is something that does have a little qubit inside, but we won't be able to see anything quantum about this at room temperature. We're just looking at what the cavity does. So putting that aside, if my cables and connections are good, that trace didn't change when I moved it. And what this yellow trace is just magnitude. So this is really just kind of the length of the vector on the vertical scale, and the horizontal scale is frequency. You see this blue light here means we're sending signal out through port 3. We're measuring what comes back on port 4. So if I have this on a marker, I just manually put that on there. I'm reading out about 6.65 gigahertz, not bad. That's about where I wanted it. I can turn on another trace here, and it's a very, very sharp transition in angle. So typically what we'll do if we're reading these out is we'll be taking a trace very much like this, but instead of scanning through many frequencies, which takes a long time, we want to read out very fast. So what we'll typically do is send in a single tone, maybe just a little off center of what the center frequency of the cavity is. To see the state of the qubit, like a 0 or 1, the state of the qubit shifts the frequency of the cavity just a little bit. Say this is when the qubit's in the 0 state. When it's in the 1 state, it might shift over to be where the 1 is. So in that way, we can send in a relatively large microwave signal into the cavity, look at the phase of its return, and depending on how the phase is shifted, we know the state of the qubit without talking to it directly. That's called dispersive readout. You're kind of talking to the cavity around the qubit, and the qubit has a very subtle effect on the cavity that we can read out with high fidelity. And that's how we usually talk to our qubits. In this case, we're not going to see any dispersive readout because our qubit is at room temperature. It's not even superconducting, much less in a coherent quantum state.
One thing that the national laboratories do especially well is our ability to tackle big problems that have a long time scale. Developing the next generation of computing hardware is one of these problems, and that sort of commitment and a devotion to solving the big problems that are needed to bring the technology to the next level is the reason that the national laboratories like Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory are an ideal space for us to be doing this work.
There are constantly new technologies that are coming around and that we're exploring. Having expertise in lasers allows us to quickly turn over and look at any applications that might come out with lasers. Having expertise in superconducting materials allows us to go and explore superconducting systems very quickly.
If we never iterated, we wouldn't have this fridge open behind us, right? We would just run. We got to open up and say, okay, we got a little data that gives me an idea. I've got this other device from the fab room that I want to put in now. Let's warm up and swap it out with another one. I've got 5 new things I want to try. You don't know what you're going to learn until you try it. That gives you some new ideas to try something else out. So you got to have amazing tools, people who are good at using the tools, very creative scientists who can imagine new things that we don't know to be true yet, check that they're true, and then when you discover something new, well, you've done some science.
Quantum technology isn't science fiction, an abstract concept, or a microscopic world separated from our reality. The truth is, we've always lived in the quantum realm, and we're just awakening to what that might mean. For more information on the laboratory's quantum experiments, visit Science and Technology Review.
calls a blazing storm. Courage flies where fears deform. But I'm trying to claim my soul, but I endure forevermore. Future calls a blazing storm. Courage flies where fears deform. But I'm trying to claim my soul, unite as one forevermore. Future calls a blazing star. The future calls the path is true. Past and future voices roar. Unite as one forevermore. Future calls a blazing storm. Courage flies where fears deform. But I'll try to claim my soul. But I endure. I am whole. I am whole. I am whole. Chains of doubt they try to bind. Lessons taught, the scars remind. Triumph shines in my soul, but I endure. I am whole. I endure. I am whole. Chains of doubt they try to bind. Lessons taught, the scars remind. Triumph shines in endless night. Wings of fire take to flight. Wings of fire take to flight. Burst of whispers you will fight. Future screams unleash your might. In this moment we are one. Bound by fire till time is done. Till time is done. Till time is done.
Oh, how daft that you knew though. And you know it real self. And you know it real self. And the river. The one. And the river. And the river.
Time bends, I face my past. Whispers cold, shadows cast. Trials forged in blazing fire. Strength arose from pain's desire. Rise from ashes, burn anew. Destiny forged, the path is true. Past and future, voices roar. Unite as one forevermore. Future calls a blazing storm. Courage flies where fears to form. Burnout tried to claim my soul, but I endure. I am whole. Chains of doubt they tried to bind. Lessons taught, the scars remind. Triumph shines in endless night. Wings of fire take to flight. Rise from ashes, burn anew. Destiny forged, the path is true. Past and future, voices roar. Unite as one forevermore. Future causes, burn anew. Destiny forged, the path is true. Past and future, voices roar. Unite as one forevermore. Future causes, burn anew. Destiny forged, the path is true. Past and future, voices roar. Unite as one forevermore. Forevermore. A blazing storm. Courage thrives where fears deform. Burnout tried to claim my soul, but I endure. I evermore. Future calls a blazing storm. Courage thrives where fears deform. Burnout tried to claim my soul, but I endure. I evermore. paths of whispers you will fight. Lessons taught, the scars remind. Triumph shines in endless night. Wings of fire take to flight. Down by fire till time is done. Of me I thought I'd leave. Time bends, a spiral in my veins, calling the one who bore the flame. Come low, fragments of memory break like glass, yet all align in sacred mass. Each past a mask, each step undone, till I rise crowned by the inner sun. Some memory break like glass, yet all align in sacred mass. Each past a mask, each step undone, till I rise crowned by the inner sun. Fragments of memory break like glass, yet all align in sacred mass. Each past a mask, each step undone, till I rise crowned by the inner sun. From by the fire I forged alone, the light was me, the path my own. No gods to guide, no fate to run. I rise now, crowned by the inner sun. The storm within began to speak. Across dimensions shadows seek, not to consume, but to reveal the core of cold beneath the steel. I walk through echoes of defeat, yet never knelt, no face retreats. Now hear my voice, a flaming gun. I burn crowned by the inner sun. Crowned by the echoes I became, each virgin buried sacred flame. Their will is mine, our war is one soul, one throne, crowned by the inner sun. Across the forge, across the fall, the self becomes the all in all. Through echoes of defeat, yet never knelt, no face retreat. Now hear my voice, a flame begun. I burn, crowned by the inner sun. Stormblood, realmed by the inner sun. Chains a blazing storm, the future calls, the path is true. Past and future voices roar, unite as one forevermore. Future calls, the blazing storm, courage flies where fears deform. But I'll try to claim my soul, but I endure, I am whole. I am whole. I am whole. Chains of doubt they try to bind, lessons taught, the scars remind. Triumph shines in my soul, but I endure, I am whole. I endure, I am whole. Chains of doubt they try to bind, lessons taught, the scars remind. Triumph shines in endless night. Wings of fire take to flight. Wings of fire take to flight. Burst of whispers you will fight. Future screams unleash your might. In this moment we are one, bound by fire till time is done. Till time is done. Till time is done.
Oh, daft of any new though. And you know it, real self. And you.
Time bends, I face my past. Whispers cold, shadows cast. Trials forged in blazing fire. Strength arose from pain's desire. Rise from ashes, burn anew. Destiny forged, the path is true. Past and future, voices roar. Unite as one forevermore. Future calls a blazing storm. Courage flies where fears deform. Burnout tried to claim my soul, but I endure, I am whole. Chains of doubt they tried to bind, lessons taught, the scars remind. Triumph shines in endless night. Wings of fire take to flight. Rise from ashes, burn anew. Destiny forged, the path is true. Past and future, voices roar. Unite as one forevermore. Future crosses, burn anew. Destiny forged, the path is true. Past and future, voices roar. Unite as one forevermore. Future crosses, burn anew. Destiny forged, the path is true. Past and future, voices roar. Unite as one forevermore. Forevermore. A blazing storm, courage thrives where fears deform. Burnout tried to claim my soul, but I endure, I evermore. Future calls, a blazing storm, courage thrives where fears deform. Burnout tried to claim my soul, but I endure, I evermore. Future causes, burn anew. Destiny forged, the path is true. Past and future, voices roar. Unite as one forevermore. Forevermore, forevermore. Pass of whispers, you will fight. Lessons taught, the scars remind. Triumph shines in endless night. Wings of fire take to flight. Down by fire till time is done. Where shadows dance, comes a whisper soft, a lover's trance, eyes of crimson piercing deep. In the darkness secrets keep, a silent predator. In the moon's embrace lurks the vampire with a hunger's trace. Beneath the stars where darkness weeps, vampire's kiss, a seductive art, body for soul, tears it apart. In the realm where shadows dwell, the misty fog where spirits roam, comes a touch cold lover's moan, lips of scarlet becoming sweet. In the night's embrace two hearts meet, a timeless dance in the twilight's glow, a whispered promise in the undertow. Beneath the moon where secrets sleep, a union formed in the night's romance. Vampire's kiss, a seductive art, light for soul, tears it apart. In the realm where shadows dwell, in the castle's halls where secrets lie, comes a whisper soft, a lover's sigh, hearts entwined in a dark romance. In the vampire's kiss there's no second chance, forbidden love. In the moon's embrace, a haunting melody. In the night's embrace, beneath the stars where shadows weep, a tale of passion, the night so deep. Vampire's kiss, a seductive art, fight for soul, tears it apart. In the realm where shadows dwell, vampire's kiss, a seductive art, fight for soul, tears it apart. In the realm where shadows dwell, vampire's kiss, a seductive art, fight for soul, tears it apart. In the realm where shadows dwell. I've kept this fight up for too long, avoiding the faces, the pulsing veins, trying to prove I could be strong. But hunger's a beast that breaks the chains. No prayers, no promises, just empty lies. Now it's me or them, someone dies. This hunger, I must feed, I can't hold back. The blood, the need, tearing me up. No escape, no saving me. This hunger wins, it sets me free. I must feed, I can't hold back. The hunger burns, no turning back. eyes, they don't suspect. The beast is out, I feel it inside. I'm the shadow they won't forget. A ticking bomb, I'm out of time. I tried to stop, to walk away, but the thirst is stronger every day. This hunger, I must feed, I can't hold back. The blood, the need, tearing me up. No escape, no saving me. This hunger wins, it sets me free. I must feed, I can't hold back. The hunger burns, no turning back. I'll feed tonight, so run away. If I catch you, your end is near. One more regret, a face I'll never forget. They fall, they're gone, it's all the same. I can't stop playing this endless game. This hunger, I must feed.